Presidential funerals. The funeral of a president has what effect on the funeral industry? 12 presidents died prior to Abraham Lincoln, and not much had changed in the way funerals were conducted. Prior to embalming, the funeral had to take place fairly quickly. The funeral ceremony for John C. Adams, second president of the United States, was held before his son, John Quincy Adams, could even be notified. While John Quincy Adams was traveling to his family home, he was notified that the funeral for his father had already taken place. The traditions and rituals that we see today in presidential funerals are derived from that of royalty. Some of those traditions include draping the mirrors and chandeliers with black crepe, loading the coffin onto a horse-drawn funeral car or coach with horses draped in black, dignitaries and great number of pallbearers marching behind to dirges played by the Marine Band. During the Civil War, many Northern families would pay to have their deceased soldiers returned home. During this time, the development of embalming took place and was a great advancement to the funeral industry today. Dr. Thomas Holmes developed a method of arterial embalming. Embalming was not used widely due to the lack of training, and was only performed those with a medical background, and used highly toxic chemicals. After the loss of one of Lincoln's high-ranking officers who was embalmed, and Lincoln was impressed with the condition of the body, even so that when his son Willie died in 1862, he asked that he be embalmed. So in 1865, when President Lincoln was assassinated, his widow, Mary Todd Lincoln, asked that President Lincoln be embalmed as well. This would make President Lincoln the first president to ever be embalmed. Therefore, embalming changed the way the nation perceives funerals and the funeral ceremony by allowing the deceased to be openly displayed, which started the trend that continues in the funeral industry today. President Lincoln's body was to lie in state at the nation's capital. Thousands of mourners would line the roads to the Capitol to have an opportunity to view the president's body. The embalming of President Lincoln permitted more time to have a more elaborate funeral than that of previous presidents. Due to the preservation of Lincoln's body, it allowed the casket to be loaded onto a funeral train that was dubbed the Lincoln Special. Accompanying Lincoln on this journey was his eldest son, Robert, and the coffin of President Lincoln's son, Willie, who had died in 1862 of typhoid fever. On April 21st, 1865, the train would leave carrying the coffin from Washington, D.C. on its way to Springfield, Illinois, where he would be buried May 4th. This journey would cover 180 cities, pass through 444 communities, and 7 states before it came to a halt in Lincoln's beloved Springfield, Illinois. Each stop that it made, the casket would be taken off of the train, placed onto an elaborate hearse, taken to a public viewing for a viewing. This journey became known as the greatest funeral in the history of the United States, portraying the great advancement from the immediate burial of Adams to tens of thousands of people, the opportunity in time to view the president. After John F. Kennedy's assassination, his wife, Jacqueline Kennedy, instructed the chief usher, J.B. West, to follow the protocol and details of Lincoln's 1865 funeral. Kennedy's remains were taken to the East Room and set up on the catafalque that was used for Lincoln. More than 250,000 people would pass the flag-draped coffin. On the day of the funeral, the casket was loaded onto a caisson and carried down Pennsylvania Avenue. Mrs. Kennedy, mourners, both personal and official, walked the procession along with the military escort, with the Marine band playing and the symbolic riderless horse with boots reversed in the stirrups. They walked the 8 blocks to St. Matthew's Cathedral, where the service was held, and he was laid to rest in Arlington Memorial Cemetery. We see many of the same traditions in funerals today. Family gathering far and near, the body lying in state, the family following the casket out of the service, the procession to the cemetery. We see much of the same pomp and circumstance, although on a much lesser scale than that of a president. We see the same reverence and respect for the deceased, no matter who they are. Embalming has had the greatest impact on the funeral industry. And in all honesty, has much else changed?